My skin is black.
What you looking
My
at?
skin
Yeah,
is black.
I feel so good to be black right now.
Welcome to episode 54 of the Black in Fashion podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. We are currently on IG Live, but this episode actually will not air into next week. So if you tuned in, you're getting a special edition right now. This episode I'm so excited about because we are joined by the entire Eboard of the Girlz Designer Club. So technically this is actually our first little outing. I hope you can see our shirts. Well, I should probably go in this camera. Boom. So we just want to talk a little bit about our background, ourselves, why we were interested in being a part of this, and I'm just going to go around the table and introduce everyone. We actually have two people that's phoned in that's not in the studio that we're also going to be introducing as well, but we're going to start to our far left. Before we start really quick, just want to acknowledge our sponsors. Wear lapels, make sure you shop them, use code 80% WOW to get an extra discount. That's so... I'm an idiot. Go ahead. I was just like, it's such advertising. It's an advertisement. Yeah. Shit, they paying for it, so it might as well.
2020 marketing, come on now.
Come on, right? All right, so we're going to start to our far left. We have Simone. She is the owner and designer behind Chaos, the brand. Simone, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Simone. Yes, my brand is Chaos, the brand. I actually launched last year, end of 2019. Around November. Very exciting. I told Lanise I wanted to be part of the organization because I feel like I didn't have that when I was growing up. I kind of just had to figure it out. And with me figuring it out, nobody looked like me. Like, I grew up in Wisconsin, then finally moved to Chicago. And I'm like, I want to be that face for young girls. Because in my mind, I seen the big designers like Versace and, Tom Ford. There was never a small town girl, a small town woman and a black woman. So I just want to be that for people.
We sipping in the studio, y'all, just so y'all know. So if y'all hear us taking a drink, just be okay with that, okay? Next, we have Hadassah Dorsey. She is the owner, designer of Hadassah. Hadassah, please introduce yourself.
Hi, you guys. I'm Hadassah. Dang, let me get my whole government. They're going to Google
Oh,
me.
damn. Did I say your government? No, I just said Simone all bad. But I just feel like it's part of your name.
Yeah, so I have my own brand, Hadassah Dora. It's a compilation of my name. Basically, I work with Lanise. She coddled me and mentored me into the blossoming flower that I am. I wanted to participate a part of the Girlz Designer Club because honestly, I'm just here to support anything black women fashion. I'm all here about black feminism and supporting women through success, particularly fashion, because there's not a space for us. I mean, I'm a student at FIT, and I already see the struggle of trying to build your way to the top when you're competing against completely other demographics and people. So
white people.
Yeah, what she said.
Yeah,
I was saying it more professionally. But yeah, and that's why I wanted to create this space because there's a lot of us out here. There's a lot of designers out here, black women designers, black women in the behind the scenes, and that's why I just wanted to be a part of this board. And,
amazing. Yeah. To my right, I have Lisette. I ain't gonna say your last name. She's the owner of Limited by Visions. Lisette, introduce yourself.
So I'm Lisette. I'm the owner of Limited by Vision. So I started my brand doing custom orders, and I'm working on my first collection collectively. And I wanted to join the e-board because there's not a lot of black designers, young designers that have any type of mentorship. It's always either you have to pay for a class in a school where they just teach you the basics and everything. They don't prepare you for the real world. They don't prepare you to become an entrepreneur. So I want to be that person to help younger black kids become designers. So that's why I'm here.
Can I just add that Lisette I feel like you're Dominican.
Yes.
So it's black and brown.
Yeah.
Black and brown. I just want to put that out there because somebody said something about that, you don't have no diversity on the Black and Fashion podcast. I was like, yes, we do. Yeah, we do. I got Dominicans.
The black diaspora is large. It's bad.
Right. I'm like, Lisette is Dominican, so it's black and brown. Yes. Just those two, though.
Wow.
I'm going All right, to my far right, we have Shakira. Shakira is Pink Lady, right?
You said it right this time.
Congratulations. You
was off camera just butchering it. Yeah, my name is Shakira Dunlap, and I am the designer and owner of Pink Lady Inc. I was inspired to create Pink Lady Inc. just from like colorful, just things that I've always loved. Like I always loved seeing like Betsy Johnson, Betsyville. That was just like everything for me. And I commend you and thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this organization, just giving back. I'm always about giving back. So when you mentioned this, I just thought it was a great initiative. Want to give back, want to spread the information, because fashion and design is information, it's a skill, right? It's something that everybody does really need, even if you don't have a passion for it. I think it's just a basic that people should know, just at least how to sew, put some buttons on something. So I wanted to be a part of this initiative, so thank you for having us.
Of course. Now we're going to our two call-in Eboard members. We're going to start with Shaquana Shante. She is the owner of Phoenix Elite. Shaquana, please introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm Shaquana Shante. Like Lanisha said, I'm the owner of Phoenix Elite. I started sewing when I was 13. I'm a little different from the rest of the girls. I actually did have mentorship. I have family members who are seamstresses, so I had them to look up to. And then I also went to high school fashion industry, so I kind of started learning a little earlier than college. I started Phoenix Elite in 2012. I started out only doing customs, and I'm now focusing on an actual line. And I wanted to be a part of the Eboard because it's so many young women and men that don't have the support that we can offer. So I really wanted to be a part of this.
Amazing. Ashley Richards. Oh, I just gave out your government. Ash Rich is next. Ashley, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ashley Richards, and my company's name is Ash Rich. I'm New York born and raised. I started sewing in high school and making custom pieces for my friends and, other clients. I now want to branch off into my own line, and I'll be relaunching soon. I met Lanice at an old company, and I've always loved her work ethics and what she stands for. I wanted to join this group because I love the movement. I want to be a part of this and help the younger generation with helping them with guidance and support.
Okay. Can I just say, everybody that's on the live, you're not going to be able to hear the people that's on the phone because they're actually in our headphones, so you'll have to tune into the live next week to actually hear all of their commentary. You'll only be able to hear the people that are currently in the studio, so our bad. May I also just point out, everybody that is on this phone in this live was on our Don't Rush video, and I hope y'all was out there sharing that video. Everybody that's in here, we did the Designers No Rush Challenge. Everybody that's on the Eboard was in that video, so if you don't recognize our faces, that was us. In our cute and ugly moments. Not ugly moments. Y'all know what I mean.
Our transformation
moments. Okay, so let's just get into just like some of the ideas and things that we want to do across the Eboard. For me, myself, I have worked a lot with another non-for-profit called the Black Girls Sew Green Camp. It's owned by Hakima Hemp. It's right over here in Brooklyn. I've taught there a lot, and that is, I would say, what inspired me to want to do a non-for-profit, because they really only have like summer camps, and then they have something like in the winter time. But then what I found was that, speaking with Miss Hakima, is that the girls lose interest, or, they're not motivated at home. So I wanted something to do that we could cater to working with women like year round and not just like during the season. I actually am a mentor for one of the young ladies that I met there at the Black Girls Sew Green Camp. I teach there in the summers as well, and I wanted us all, as a part of the Eboard, to be able to go to at least one day out of the week or every month, or just one person to be a representation and teach these kids different things, as well as maybe partner with one or two young girls. To actually do mentorship and, work with them outside of just the camp. So take the floor, Hadassah. Hadassah has a couple ideas and what she's looking to put forth into the Eboard organization, and we're just going to discuss a little bit about some of the initiatives and events that we want to move forward with.
Hi. So here I thought that, due to social distancing, a great way for people to stay in communication and to, you know, still participate in events and volunteer is to create like a virtual sip and sew. We're here, everyone is sipping and enjoying ourselves while we're discussing with you guys, but everyone's at home being creative. This is an opportunity to get creative. This is an opportunity to market yourself. This is an opportunity right now to learn that skill or hobby that you didn't get. And a lot of people want to learn how to sew. A lot of people want to learn how to draw. A lot of people want to learn how to design. So we thought this would be, I thought, you know, in terms of, you know, building that sewing community and building up that Black Girl Designer Club is really just to have this event. We haven't discussed the date yet, but from the proposal, what I've come up with is we'll be teaching 2 basic easy to sew projects where everyone will be able to come together onto a social platform, a virtual platform, either Zoom or Google Meet. We haven't decided yet, and we'll be posting this event soon. It's going to be 90s themed, so, you know, get ready to throw your 90s joints in the background, play your Monicas, your Brandies, you know, or maybe you might be watching TV while you sew, which, you know, so maybe you watching the classic Living Single, Martin or something, and, you know, sip and sew. So that's just one of the ideas we have.
Amazing. If anybody else just like want to like go ahead and share their ideas, what they have in mind, and then we'll go into more like discussion-based topics about what we feel are probably some of the biggest struggles as Black women, what we struggle with as we were growing up, and we'll kind of move in that. But I just want to, if anybody else has like any ideas they just want to throw out there that they came up with, please do so.
I think it would be cool to actually just be the voice for young people as far as like letting them know like it's never too early to start a business or to start working towards, you know, your future. You know, like I really started college, you know, I had a really good childhood, but all the things that I wanted to do, I could have did when I was 13. I could have did when I was 12. Just teaching them like that business sell and how to like sell themselves to the point where we can like put ideas in their head, because some of them might think it's only making a collection or it's only custom designs, like as far as garments goes, where they can sell custom pillows or whatever the case may be. You know, it's basically just trying to teach them how to hustle. Down clothes. Like you never know where you're going to end up. You know, it's not just about clothes. So I definitely want to just be that voice for them to help them come up with ideas.
Coming up with that niche, like figuring out what works for you in fashion. Because a lot of the times when you get into, like even myself, a lot of times when I got into fashion, when I first started, I solely wanted to do fashion design. But I realized it's bigger than just design. There's product development, there's marketing, there's merchandise, there's all these levels and aspects and all these people behind the scenes who take a part into creating what your audience wants. And when people find out, like, oh, wait, I don't want to sew, but I know how to style. Like, I'm that person who know how to style. Or somebody like, I know how to really sell off designs. Like, I really know how to talk about it and persuade other people to get that.
Or even if they're, like, good at math, and maybe they can do better with patterns and, like, creating shapes and stuff like that. Like, it's other things that might be their passion. It doesn't have, like, every fashion designer doesn't have to look the same way or have the same mindset. They can all go about it with their own path. That would be great to show them.
So, like, the vision I have for this group is, like, to be completely transparent with these kids, because when I was younger, I did go to the High School of Fashion Industry, but they did not prepare me and my classmates for getting a job after college or after even high school. They, you know, I was taught to drape, do pattern making, and sew. Then when I got to the real world, I had to do tech packs, and like I had to learn that on the job, so I had to settle for a lower salary and that stuff. Like I want to be like very transparent with the fashion industry, with these kids, like tell them the good, the bad, all the types of careers you can have. If you're not like an entrepreneur, you can do good at pattern making and production and stuff like that and still make a career for it. Like just be completely transparent with these kids. And also to your point, like when I feel like when this is all settled, this whole pandemic is settled, there's a lot of kids that need an escape from home. A lot of kids like myself, I couldn't study at home. I couldn't do my homework at home because of like what I went through at home. So me going to school, I always made it to class and everything because that was my escape. So like have like a safe haven for these kids to get their mind off of whatever is going on at home, because we can't control what's going on at home, but we can control what goes on outside of their home.
Right. Right, I agree.
Makes sense.
I agree.
Shaquana, do you have anything to add? Ashley, do you have anything to add?
Not right now.
Okay. Shaquana?
No, I don't have
No,
anything
thank
to
you.
add right now either.
Gotcha. So I want you guys to kind of discuss, and we can go around the table and discuss how we can make a difference in the children's lives that maybe their parents don't see art and crafts and designing and being creative as an actual profession. I know that in some cultures it's not looked at like that. They want you to be a doctor. They want you to be a nurse. They want you to be a lawyer. So how are we going to work with these children, or how do you feel like some things that we can add, or, you know, be able to work with kids that, you know, we're pushing them and we're motivating them to do one thing, and then they're in the household, you know, with parents that don't see the same things?
I guess I can talk for that. I come from an Afro-Caribbean household, so anybody coming from that diaspora, they understand, like, you know, talking about the arts is not a place to be. They're like, why you don't want to be an engineer or a doctor? I know growing up, to prove to my mother that fashion was for me was stepping into opportunities like competitions and showcases. Growing up, I was also an alumni for High School of Fashion Industries, and one thing I can appreciate is they made sure to collaborate with companies to sponsor students in certain clubs and also provide competition. So maybe what we can do is give scholarships, grants, or host competitions and get people to fund these competitions and help people, help students understand that they have an opportunity. When they see that they're winning this, I can go for more. For example, myself, I was able to win the Kleinfeld bridal competition back in high school. So it was a challenge for students to come up with a bridal dress design. And when you won the competition, you was granted money. Now, you know, like everybody, you know, wants to get money, but in this way, parents can see, oh, there is a financial aspect. There is opportunity for growth, career growth. Because, you know, that's the thing. A lot of these parents, they view the arts as an opportunity. It's not stable money, or it's not true financial prosperity for people. And I don't think that's true. And, you know, you have to prove that to them when they see that their children are in these opportunities, these spaces where they can grow. They're like, oh, maybe this is a thing. You know, like when I won that, I could tell my mother started to view fashion in a different aspect. Like, oh, there is places for fashion. There is places to gain income and make money and be stable. And when I won that competition, it was an open opportunity for other doors to be open to me and go into school, pay for school, as well as start my own brand, make my own income, and work for other companies. And when students can see that and then participate in those things, their parents will see it as well. I guess that makes sense.
I also think what Simone was saying earlier, just about like every fashion designer doesn't have to look the same. Like, so I want them to see that it's practical, right? We don't all have to be, you know, Gianni Versace, and we don't all have to be, you know, Tom Ford. You can make basic T-shirts. You can make things that's practical, that's useful. I think once parents understand that everybody needs clothes and everybody needs some type of design, something. And that is in everyday life, that it becomes more obtainable to them, and it becomes more, not like a rap career or something like that, you know. It's not so far-fetched when it's practical, and you can show that you need it in your everyday use. So I think that would be a very good key to push for the parents that may be like, okay, like fashion, they're wasting their time.
All right. I want to kind of hit on, and we're going to go to our two call-ins, Shaquana and Ashley. Can you guys discuss just like some of your struggles? I find that it's easier for people to relate when they, you know, they feel like they come from a common background. Like even if you was ever discouraged in your designs, or, you know, you had to take a step back and just kind of like discuss the struggles that you've had and, you know, how you've overcome them. Or if you're still in them, you know, and like you know, you're constantly every day fighting to just continue to push, and how you can inspire the next person.
Well, this is Ashley. I will say that my biggest struggle is the custom aspect of it, like trying to please a client that saw something in a photo, and, you know, it's my job to bring it to life. And sometimes they don't have the correct body for that actual dress that they're looking at, and it's like I'm supposed to just magically make it work. And I'm trying to explain to them, like, miss, like, this isn't, you know, this, it's not going to look like this on you. And then it's like,
I'm just like you guys a lot.
they enforce, like, no, this is what I want. And then when you make it and they're not satisfied, then it automatically becomes my fault. And it's like a constant back and forth. And it's like, it's my job to satisfy the client, but you're over here telling them this isn't going to work, and they don't trust you. So like, that's part of the reason why I wanted to get out of customs, because it was always a constant battle of like people pleasing and, you know, like just getting people to understand, like, it's not as easy. But I'm still struggling with finding my niche and, like, you know, what exactly I want to like share to the world and like what I want to like be known for. But, you know, I'm just taking it day by day and not putting so much pressure on myself, and, you know, like just seeing what, just like, I don't know, just day by day. Like, Shaquana?
Yeah, so I agree with Ashley with the custom things, but for me, my biggest struggle when it comes to this industry has always been myself. And I say that because I used to find myself like trying to figure out why people that started around the same time as me was prospering more or doing more things, or people who I would see their work and feel like this is mediocre, but they were getting like all of these clients. Or that was my biggest struggle. I had to stop comparing myself to others, and I had to realize, like, girl, just do what you can do, because what you can do is what's for you, and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing or who they got wearing their stuff or who they know. Because sometimes I learned that in this industry, it's a lot of popularity. People will get known just because off of popularity. They don't even have to be doing the greatest work. So for a long time, that was one of my biggest struggles, was just not. I'm not gonna say I didn't have the confidence in myself, but I was comparing myself to other people way too much.
Gotcha.
But I finally broke out of that, guys.
Gotcha. I definitely feel like that. I mean, I feel like I know and have a personal connection to every woman in this room, and I know we've all had those times where we just trying to, like, you know, figure it the fuck out. To be completely honest, just like, what am I doing wrong? Because as a designer, you're constantly looking at other designers and you're constantly seeing what they're doing and how they're doing, but everything that glitters does not go. You know, everybody that I see out there and I'm looking and seeing all this popularity, a lot of times they ain't even got no damn money. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all.
They sleeping on a friend's couch.
You ain't even got no money. Like, so it's just like, you know, everything, right? Like I said, it doesn't glitter, it doesn't go. Like, you really, really do, like, never know that somebody else's struggle. Like Simone just said, like, they could be sleeping on somebody's couch. They might not have no money. So really, really get out of that mind space of, like, trying to compare yourself to others. And I think that's, like, the biggest piece of advice that I can give, like, in this industry is, like, you in your own lane, you on your own time. If you figure out that you want to be a designer and you 40, that's fine. If you start off when you 5 or 6 and you want to be a designer and you get discouraged, and then now you coming back to it in your 20s, like, yo, when I was a kid, I was doing this, but I got discouraged. Like, it's okay. You didn't waste no time. I hate hearing that from people. They feel like they wasted so much time. You didn't waste your time. You know, you took a break. It's okay to step back and understand that, you know what, maybe it just wasn't right for me in that moment. And then, you know, it ultimately changes.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, we're all finding ourselves in this journey, especially fashion is under the umbrella of art, you know, and as artists, we're evolving. That's what art is about. Right. We're evolving people, and you don't have to be the same person you was 5 years ago. You know, like, going back to what Ashley said, she said, I'm still finding my niche, and that's okay. Like, I'm in that same space. You're always changing. Your taste is always changing. And in terms of building a brand, your customer is changing. That's another thing too. So when you have a company, your customer is changing. You're gonna say Chanel from the 60s is the same Chanel for 2020. The customer that is changing, it's evolving, and that's what art is about. That's what's fashion about. Trends change, you know. So it's understanding that it's a journey. Like, you know, going back to Nipsey Hussle, it's a marathon. It's not a race. You know what I'm saying? And you have to just keep continuing that and appreciate where you are now and realize where you are before. Because I think you get so caught up in, like, oh my God, where am I supposed to be? When really you should look back and say, oh, but here's where I came from.
Facts.
So.
And it's just like, don't let social media fool you. Like, social media is like really, really good for business. Like, great for business, but it's still a part, you know. And social media can go away any day. Just like, you know, back then we had MySpace and we had all this other
Tagged. Y'all remember Tagged?
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't let what you see on Instagram or social media fool you. You know, people post what they want to post. So, yeah, like, fall in love with your journey. You know, because eventually, if you're consistent, it's going to work.
Absolutely.
You know, as long as you believe in your art, you're consistent, like, it's going to work. So, yeah.
Does anybody else want to just kind of like throw out like just some of the struggles that they personally like went through, and if they had to take a break, and like what was like the fuel and like series of events that, you know, was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to do my thing?
In terms of just
like something you went through maybe personally, like relatable wise, that you went through and you just like, I needed to take a break, I needed to take a step back, and I needed to like figure things out. Like, what was that experience or that time frame for you, and like how did it make you feel? Like, what happened in your life that you just like, I can't right now, like I just can't, but I'm going to, and like you overcame from it?
I could talk about my own personal experience. I wouldn't say it was like a pitfall, but it's definitely just, I just want to talk about my experience. Maybe someone's going out there, like, it's not easy being a designer, especially a small business designer. You're working hustle. I personally used to be working, and until this day, working different hustles. Like, last summer, if someone told me that I would go through what I was going through, I would be like, yeah, nah, that's a dub. I don't want to do that. Like, I was still a student, a full-time student at FIT, working 2 jobs and an internship. And like, not like serious jobs. I mean, I was a Domino's delivery girl. I was literally driving my car to people's houses and giving them pizza. You know what I'm saying? To make income in my pocket to back up my business. Because at the end of the day, a business is a small investment. So no one is telling you, you know, I'm not no rich white kid where I can ask my mommy and daddy for $6, $10K, $15K. I had to go in my pocket and take care of myself. I'm already paying for school because my parents ain't paying for school. Your parents is like, so you want to go to a fashion school? Yeah, good luck with that. So that was, you're paying out of pocket for that. And then on top of that, not only, you know, you're working in retail, that's another, like, you know, it's so hard because you have all these little jobs, you know, and I don't want to call them little because at the end of the day, these businesses are now essential businesses, but, you know, like, society makes it deemed like, you know, working as a retail worker or these low-income jobs is nothing. And in a way, it's kind of not, because they belittle you, you know. People belittle you. The pay isn't great.
And they work you so hard.
Yeah, you working so hard. And then on top of that, you got to go home and discipline yourself to, to push your, to discipline yourself to push your business. Because now you're tired. I'm tired from school. I'm tired from work. And I'm like, all right, but I still want to grow my business. So now I got to go home and create designs, create a way to put money to try to go into pattern grading, or try to save money to go into product development, to actually go into manufacturing, because that's really hard. That was so hard, and I was not in a financially stable place last summer. I'm just like, damn, I got bills to pay, and I still want to invest in my business. So it's like, when you're in that mindset, like, you really want to give up. And I remember I started giving up. I'm talking about, like, damn, I'm trying to catch up with bills. You're trying to catch up with credit card bills. You're trying to catch up with loans. You're trying to catch up with this. And then you still trying to grow a business. So it's like, and then social media, and it, like, the worst part of it all is when people are like, oh, how's your business doing? Da-da-da. I see you on social media. Like, I'm going to buy something from you one day.
One day, girl.
I'm going to buy something.
One day.
When?
That day is coming.
Right.
Wait on it.
Simone, can you speak to motherhood, you know, and having that transformation in your life where, you know, you're becoming a mom, and, you know, that being like your first priority, and how you are able to push yourself beyond that, just, you know, being in motherhood, you know, having to maintain a household, you know, getting married, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know we actually talked about it before on the podcast. Like, it was a huge change for me, but it's one of those things. I know it sounds cliche, but it really lit, that fire. Like, put that fire under my ass to make me work harder, because now I'm not just doing it for me anymore. And I had to tell myself that, one day my son is going to be 18. He's going to have his own family. And then you're going to wish you continue doing what you started out doing before you had a kid, So, I'm a mom. I'm a mom 24 hours, but I have a studio. That's like my 9 to 5. I go into work, and then after 5 o'clock, I'm with my son, and I just make it happen. And like I said, he's going to benefit from it, like, eventually. So it's one of those things that, yeah, you're a mother first, but just never forget why you started. Like, even with the hustling, the jobs and stuff, like, I was a bartender for 4 years. I did not touch fashion. To the point, I came back to Lanice, like, I forgot everything. She's like, no, you didn't. It's like riding a bike, She was like, I'm about to show you this, and you ain't gonna need me again. And, like, she was just showing me, like, how to make a pattern all over again, and everything just started coming back to me. And it's just, like, the hustle and bustle of me wanting to be in New York. And you forget, like, okay, your whole lifestyle is about to change now. Right. Like, now the world is happening. You got bills. It's expensive to be here. Everything costs. Like, fashion was like secondary, third, fourth. Like, I did not touch a sewing machine for 4 years, and it wasn't really until my son came that it was like, okay, go back to what you love, and like, he's gonna respect you for it. So yeah, like, it's hard, but it's doable. People do it all the time. And
you make time for what's important.
Themselves, huh?
You make time for what's important.
Yeah, you make time for what's important. Like, my thing is, you can either nap, you can sleep, or you can work. And it's like, oh, my baby went to sleep, I'm gonna work. Like, this is my time, so it's what's important, to you.
And being in New York makes it like 10 times harder than any other state. Like, I feel like if you can make it in New York, you really can make it anywhere. Because like, even having, like, in my case, I always worked in the industry, so like, I stopped working retail a long time ago. Even with working in the industry and having the salary I had, I never had time. So I had the money, but I didn't have time to create a line or anything. It was like, I lasted in the fashion industry for like 3 years. The longest time I spent in a job in the fashion industry was for 3 years, because either they lost businesses with other brands and stuff. Like, it was never something consistent. So every time I lost a job, I picked up my pace with Limited by Vision. But then when I got back into the industry and I had to work because I need to pay bills, it's like I'm pushed back 10 steps. And now that this pandemic is going on, and there is no fashion industry, like corporate industry anymore. So now I'm having like more time, and I'm going to finish what I started regardless. So.
Yeah, I think it's just about like limiting like your excuses, right? Because you could use motherhood as an excuse for you. You don't have the time. Your baby's crying. You got a husband, this and the third. Or you could use having multiple jobs as excuses, or you could just use it as fuel. So just figure out what you want to do for it. I know with mine, I always was like, oh, I don't have enough money, right? Yeah. It's always like that. Like, oh, I wish I had like, some seed money to start it. If I only had this, But I had to stop saying that to myself and just say, like, just do it. Like, you can put aside like a couple dollars here and there, and then before you know it, it's what you need. So just limiting your excuses, just knocking them out. I think that's very important to drive home, just because we don't all have the same struggles, but we all have a struggle, right? Everybody has their own type of struggles that they go through. And we have to overcome them,
And people,
hold on, wait, don't forget about Shaquan and Ashley. Y'all got something to add?
Just leaving them.
Everyone touched on what I was going to touch on, especially Lisette. Like, me and Lisette, we work a couple of blocks away from each other, and we will take lunch with each other and just vent about that. Like, the industry is like, the corporate fashion industry is a revolving door, and it's like companies are always laying off people. So I'm one of those people that I got laid off maybe like 4 times. And like, every time I get laid off, I know some people would take it as fuel to start their collection, but me, it instantly puts me in a depression, because it's like, damn, like, I was just about to like get stuff rolling. I lost my job. I can't put aside that money to put towards Ash Rich. I got to put aside that money to pay school loans and my phone bill and, you know, just to survive. And it's just like, damn, I don't got money for the Long Island Railroad to go to the garment district to get fabric.
No, that's
it's
real.
Like, it's like, you know, it's like every time I think that, you know, I'm ahead, you know, something pushes me back. But like my team member said, like, you can't, you just gotta ignore the excuses and just, you know, just get it done. Like, you're right, but it's just, things be happening. Like, you just gotta just stay strong. And like my other team member said, like, just remember why you started, you know? So that's where I'm at.
This might be very, very bad advice, but fuck them student loans. I'm sorry, and it might be the worst advice ever.
No,
but I'm just, and I say that, fuck them student loans. We gonna put somebody in office eventually that's gonna knock that shit right off. And all the student loans, that shit in the first
$30. Keep your $30.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's, you're gonna owe way more than that. Like, just.
I mean, that's bad advice, but it's just like,
listen, my credit score right now, like, I'm so proud of it because I've been working on this for like couple of years now, and I'm like 780, you guys, and I owe Columbia hella money. Please don't listen to what they say. Like, you can build your credit and you still have student loans. You know, student loans are one day I'm praying that somebody get into office and they cancel all that shit. Until then, it's like
I don't pay shit.
If you're gonna pay minimum,
I was 22.
You might as well not pay.
I'm 31.
Like,
I've been out of school since I was 22, and I went back and I got my master's. But then that's even more money. I'm over like $100-something thousand a day. They can kick rocks for all I care. Like every time they hit me up, I be like, deferred. I ain't got no money.
When I get deferred,
I ain't got no money.
They can't prove you got the money.
They can't prove I got a dollar.
Actually, once you pay it off, it actually impacts your credit in a negative way. Because one of my friends just finished paying off one of her loans, and she was like, "Yo, my credit score went low. I just finished paying it." I said, "Girl, I don't know why you're trying to knock it out in such a real quick. Like, calm down." Just
that is funny.
When I'm making 7 figures, like here, you know, like real fast, I'll write y'all a check.
Right. That's when you will see it from me, and I'll probably give back to that's crazy because I would give back to Columbia as an alumni before I paid my student loans. Like, no lie. Like, I would give back and I would put money into, for me, places they needed. Like, I put money into this organization. I'm gonna put money into this because to me, this is where my money go. Y'all be alright. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
No real.
Shaquana, you got something to add?
I agree with fuck those student loans because I'm not paying mine either. Okay? Like,
he said period.
No, but
I ain't paying that. Like, come on, y'all better go on with that.
My credit is still going up. My credit score is still continuing to rise.
Yes.
I pay everything else that's on my credit. I pay my credit cards on time. My credit is still continuing to rise, and I do not touch those student loans. Like, first of all, my school, I went to a college that completely closed and lost their accreditation. So why the fuck do I need to pay y'all anyway? Like, I just feel like,
Did you go to AI?
Yes, I went to AI.
Me too.
Yes,
You went to
I went to AI, and that's another thing.
I think she went to
No, bitch. But I went to AI, and that's another thing. Ashley, that was Ashley that said you said you went to AI.
Yeah.
Another thing, Ashley, if you went to AI New York, there's a way to get your loans completely canceled. It's called a school closure, but I'll text you about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Another
Let's
time.
get that. Now, since we on the subject,
no.
That's actually something I'm working on now, is actually getting my loans dismissed. But aside from like the student loan thing, I did have a point in my life where I actually stopped sewing completely for 4 years. From 2008 to 2012, I didn't touch a sewing machine.
Wow.
I felt defeated. I really and truly thought that I was done with fashion. And it was because it was the first time I had to drop out of college.
Wow.
College was expensive as hell. AI is a private college, so I was not getting financial aid. And my mother was paying out of, oh my gosh, she was spending so much money, and I felt like I was watching her struggle. So I dropped out without even telling her.
Wow.
And that was hard for me for 4 years. Like, I would not even look at my sewing machine. Like, it literally just sat there and collected dust because I really felt like I was just done with it. I just started working jobs at 18. Like, I'm going to just work. But then when I turned 24, no, I went back to college at 25. But in 2012, I was just like, you know what? This is where my heart is. I'm going to figure it out. And I started sewing again. And then I was able to go back and actually finish college. I went back at 25. So.
Wow.
Since we on the subject of
education. sorry, feeling defeated is probably something that we all went through. And people that's listening, if you're like starting in the industry, you are going to go through it. You just got to know how to get past it. Like everyone said, you really have to know how to get past it.
So since we on the subject of like education, do everybody in this room like feel free to comment, like how do y'all feel about what y'all got? Like, you know, like do you feel like, you know, the school, you know, that you went to actually gave you the proper tools that you needed? No. Or do you find like, you know, they taught me some bullshit?
They gave me a social life.
I go to school for fashion.
I feel like my school.
College or?
Period.
Period.
Well,
Just
I mean,
any school, high school.
Fashion industries. Well, I'm thinking more so college, like something you have to pay for.
College education.
Yeah.
I'll talk because I'm still in school right now. Everybody else seems done.
And you're the big one. She's at FIT.
Yeah, I'm a student at FIT. Where do I start?
I want to hear this. I do want you to share your experiences as a black student because I know you kind of talked to me about some of the things that you were going through, you know, currently, and you know having to go to like the dean of students and talk to them about how you're being treated by your professors. So do definitely speak to that, like about how they've been treating you.
I feel 50-50. One, let's offer it. I want to talk about how I got into the school. I applied to the fashion design program twice and did not get in. The fashion design program at FIT is super competitive. And honestly, when you go into school, the fashion design program is full of Asian people. Yep. Straight up Asians everywhere. You barely see white Americans, you barely see black Americans, and you barely see Latino. It is Asians running that shit. And I'm talking about Asians in China and Asians in India, because you know they both are part of the same stuff. Okay, that's one. So I didn't get in the first time, so I said, "Dang, why am I not getting in?" Like I know I have skills, right? And I know that another thing too, what people don't tell you about college institutions, they have to hit a certain bracket or percentage of demographic. So I'm like, "Well, I'm not getting in." I know there's not a lot of black folk applying, so I know y'all need a percentage for black women in there.
Affirmative action.
Right. So what's up? So then I was like, okay, cool. So I started searching into other programs, and I actually met Lanice around the time when I was applying to FIT. But I just, I knew about her on a social aspect. Like we didn't get super close yet. But then I learned about product management, product development, and I applied to the product management program, and I got in. And I feel like the reason why I got in is because the other programs in FIT are smaller. So they're just trying to fill up people in those spaces. That's my say on that. So if you're trying to join another program in FIT, you're going to get in because they want to showcase to the outside world, yeah, our other programs are just as amazing as our fashion design. But please. So that's...
Product development is where the money is, just so y'all know. Like, y'all get into product management and get a job in that field and learn all those technical aspects, you're going to make way more money than a designer. Because designers, they be trying to hit them, like, coming through the door with $35,000. You can wipe my ass with that in New York. $35,000 after I just spent all this education money and stuff to be a designer, and the job is so limited and so competitive. You sitting at a desk clicking shit on CAD, like
when they taught you how to
and they'll eliminate
when they taught you how to drape.
Don't make no sense.
No real stuff, bro.
I mean, so do y'all suggest that? Like, I don't want to deter people away from college, but to me, the business side of things, like take business classes.
Take business classes.
Take math classes.
Okay. I went to Florida A&M University. I went to HBCU. I graduated with a bachelor's in business administration, focus on marketing. I wanted to go to a HBCU just because I wanted to feel like my family is very pro-black, so I grew up, watching all the 90s shows you talking about a different world and all of that. I wanted that experience. And I knew that, I felt that the fashion aspect could wait, right? So I was like, I wanted to do the business part. And I feel like, everybody, gets to things in their different ways, but I think the business part is very important. And I feel like my university, FAMU, they prepared me for the real world. They taught me about professionalism and everything. So I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I say I definitely got my money's worth when I went to Florida A&M
HBCU?
University. Which I feel like there's a difference between like going to school and just seeking education.
Right.
Like there's a difference there. Like you need you definitely need to learn your craft. And
Right.
you definitely need to have like some type of educational aspect to it. But it don't have to necessarily be like a 4-year institution. Like you don't have to go to school for 4 years, but you do need to seek mentorship and learning crafts and just learning the basis of how to get things done. A lot of stuff that I know is not school taught. Like I guess I definitely went to school and I definitely learned the foundations in school. But in all honesty, my expertise and what I've learned comes from trial and error. I never said no to a project. Like I'm just like I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna learn, and if I fuck it up, I'm gonna have to get this person their money back. But I don't want to fuck it up. Learn. You know, so I don't want to mess it up. So it pushed me harder to learn that technical aspect, and then of course working in the industry, I am the queen of embellishing the shit out your resume. I will lie and lie and lie and add some shit and make some shit sound real good so I get the job done. Okay, I will switch up the verbiage on your ass so quick. They be thinking I got all this little expertise because in my mind they gonna show me how to run their systems. Right. They gonna train me how to do things in their way. So all these jobs out there that's constantly like you gotta have this amount of experience, you gotta have this, whatever they got in that description, I motherfucking copy and paste that shit and put it in my resume. So that way you think I got it because you gonna show me it, because you gonna show me how to do it, but I'm putting in my resume just so you can see it. And then during the interview, everything you got in the job description, I'm saying that shit. Like, yeah, I'm a very expert when it comes to approving lab dips and strikeouts. Everything that's in the description, I'm studying that shit before the interview, and I'm saying that shit. That's got me every job I've ever had.
And a lot of the time, these jobs, they put in these fancy descriptions, and really, when you get to the job, you're doing basic stuff. Oh, go get some swatches from the library book. Like, what? Like, I thought you said I needed to learn how to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I just want to say, like, I'm not trying to bash FIT. I think FIT is a good school to go to, but you have to take, I just think, I don't want to, here's what I'm saying. When you go into a fashion school, or any school, you have to take initiative on yourself.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, especially as a black individual, they're not trying to help you. They feel like they did enough. Oh, we accepted you into our institution.
You're here. Now you have to do
you're paying money.
I'm not doing no more for you. So you have to really go out of your way because, you know, like your reason why your experience is different, your school is catered to black individuals. They come in to help your demographic. When you go to these institutions,
it's still a lot of catty stuff.
I mean, of course. But when you go into other institutions, their job is, we filled up our 17% for the black demographic. Absolutely. That's good enough. Mm-hmm. That's good enough for us. So you really have to go out your way. Like for FIT, like I said, I had to apply 3 times to just get into the school. Then once I'm in the school, I really have to reach out to certain offices. I got to go back and forth to the career and internship. I created my own internship. I literally created my own internship because these other companies, when they see you come into the interview, they say, a black girl with natural hair.
How did you create your own internship, though? Speak on that.
Okay, so my internship, I knew Lanice already from Black Girlz Designer, right? And I said, okay, I know Lanice has her own company. I know she's running in product development and management. I said, let me hit her up. I said, I need an internship to graduate. Would you be willing to take me as a mentor and we could fulfill hours? I can help you with your business. I know you running this. I know you propelling your business off. And I know you want people in your space like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the brown skin people if you can't see it. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. Literally, she turned it. And I think, it helped
It was very beneficial to me because she brought it to me. Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't fuck with FIT. All right, it's several reasons why I don't mess with them because it's been too many people that either didn't get in for stupid ass reasons, like they want you to learn how to draw beforehand. No, they're supposed to teach you that.
Right.
Like everybody don't have the ability to go to a fashion high school. Every place don't have it. I think New York is the only place that had it. Ain't no fashion high schools in Chicago.
Yeah.
Is it fashion high schools in Milwaukee? Ain't no damn fashion high school. So how do you expect people coming out of high school to know how to already sew and have a whole portfolio? Yeah. That does not make sense to me. So that's reason number one that I don't fuck with them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The Asian kids never got that skill.
So that shit that's the first thing. Second thing, I got a bachelor's and a master's. I have applied for so many positions there just as an adjunct faculty member, and they ain't even looked my way. So F them on that, which is why I started my own and started teaching on my own. Third thing is, I just don't like them. Like, I just don't like that school. But it never dawned on me to like, I should look for interns there. I would look for interns on Craigslist, blah, blah, blah. But when Hadassah came to me and she's like, I need an FIT, I'm like, okay. And I feel like for me, the process itself was hard.
Yeah, the process
They had me fill out all this information. They wanted all this shit on my business. They wanted so much information, down to the point where they even came to Brooklyn to my studio.
Oh, really?
They came to see if my shit was legit. And I'm just like,
seems kind of discouraging.
It wasn't even discouraging. It was just like, these motherfuckers want to get in my business.
Right.
Like, and we were very honest. We didn't lie, and I could have lied.
Yeah.
We say it was a home-based business because it is. Like, my studio
and
is in my
she's
home.
not the only company. There's multiple companies doing that.
Like, whole white lady came to my crib and like, so what exactly do we do here? Like, we ain't already filled out all the information now. Like, I ain't already submitted. Hadassah's halfway through her internship at this point. And they're coming to my house now to make sure that I guess I was legit. And I was just like, she's like, oh, this is actually really nice. This is actually really nice. You wasn't believing it. You wasn't a believer before? Like, excuse me. She's like, oh, so you, like, she was so freaking shocked. She's like, oh my God. Like, sis, everything that we wrote down is what it is. And that's what she's working on. It's like, I guess she was looking to find something wrong. She couldn't find nothing.
And and you know what's funny, you know, like when you go to FIT and any college, you have your internship class. I was actually learning my craft. Other people were working for bigger companies like Tommy Hilfiger, you know, Alice and Olivia and all that. They're like, bro, I sit in the office and don't do nothing. Mm-hmm. I asked them, can I do something? And they be like, oh, I don't have nothing for you. Right. Literally, students was like, I wasn't learning nothing in my major, in my craft, because these companies, and they're not paying you.
And you still
they're
have to
not
write
helping,
a report about what you did all day.
Yeah, they're not giving you no type of, you know, like, you know, when you go into incentive, right? You know, like at least.
Out for transportation
and food. They wasn't getting nothing, not getting paid, no Metro cards, nothing. You had to make sure you was there for your hours to sit and do nothing. I said, I'm so happy that I got my experience from someone who looks like me and wants me to excel. So like I said, when you go into these institutions, you have to create your own experience. You have to create your own seat at the table, period. That's it.
I think that's great that you touched on that, somebody that looked like you. I mean, when the information is coming from somebody that looks like you feel like they have like the same kind of struggles, they walk through the same path as you. So that's something I can relate to. When I went to HBCU, my professors looked like me, so it made it easier to accept the information that they were giving to me and making me feel like they were pointing me in the right direction. So with that being said, it is also very important to learn from people that don't look like us, right?
Yeah.
And be able to communicate in spaces where, you know, we are going to be the minority in the situation, stuff like that. So I feel like kind of slighted because you want to be in a space where you're coddled and you feel, you know, embraced, but that's not every time. You're not going to feel like
okay, we back now.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they hung up.
No, we're here.
Okay.
We're here now.
Yeah, but you're not going to feel like that all the time. So we have to get like comfortable being uncomfortable as well in those spaces.
And you might have to work a little harder, and that's okay. Like you have to actually just believe in your talents, you know. So
that's pretty much it, y'all. That's college in fashion. I don't even think this is fashion. Just being any type of art, it's really hard to go to institutions for art or anything in like an artistic field because it's like, you know, we're changing what's considered hobbies or, you know, pastimes into a career.
Yeah, we're here.
And those spaces are hard to kind of manage into professionalism because people just deem it as, especially, they just deem it as a space to not be serious. It's really hard being a student in fashion and you're talking to other students in like STEM areas, you know, in mathematics, law, whatever. They're like, oh, your major is easy. Yeah, I said, hold up, wait, what? Yeah. You know how hard it is for a senior thesis for a fashion design student? I said, you know what students are going through right now in remote learning for a fashion student? There are students with no access to, that's another thing which I think is so important for this club. There are students with no access to materials without going to school.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who's a senior right now in the fashion. He has no access to an industrial sewing machine. Yeah. He has no access. He's like, without the school, he has nothing. So he's sitting at home doing nothing, you know? So I think this board is so necessary because if you don't have the funds or the means or the access to the things we need for fashion, we're creating that for, you know, for students. And I think that's so important. So
it is very important. And it's a skill. I mean, I feel like I just keep going back to fashion design is really a skill. It's just like an electrician. It's just like, you know, carpentry. We are building things. We are manufacturing things. We're putting things together with our hands, you know. And it's a craft that you need. You're always going to need seamstress and tailors and people to alter things, you know. And it's a dying craft that we need to fuel more energy back into.
It ain't dying no more due to COVID-19. They're like, oh, we need all the tailors and seamstresses to create scrubs and masks for our essential workers. Yep. We need you. We're willing to pay. Oh, now y'all want to pay.
After they close a bunch of manufacturing
factories
in North Carolina and everything.
When I saw Governor Cuomo, I said, oh, now we're important. Now we're essential.
Now you see us.
Right. Okay.
Shaquana, Ashley, do you guys have anything to add?
No, you guys touched everything.
All right. Well,
I had
go ahead.
I did have something like with my school experience, being a fashion design major, it was like I had already taught myself so much. So it was kind of hard because everything I had taught myself, they wanted you basically to relearn their way. Yeah. But for me, as a fashion design major, I didn't learn shit about the business aspect of the fashion industry. And I think that was where my struggle came in because I didn't know the business. Yeah, I could make a dress, I can drape, I can sketch, I can kind of make a pattern. I'm not that great at it, but I didn't know the business. They didn't teach us that in my school. I don't know if anyone else had that experience.
Well, I want to add one thing. Me and Shaquana went to the same college. The Art Institute did not really touch on business. She's right. But where I struggle at till this day is pricing. Like, I don't know how to price my stuff. And that's also because, like, they didn't teach us that in school. Like,
they didn't teach us that, yeah.
Yeah, we probably had, like, one sheet, like a course sheet, and, like, one class about it. And, like, I wish, like, I learned that more because I feel like that will help me with what I'm dealing with right now, coming out with a new collection. Like, I really don't know how to price it. However, I did go to Lanice's tour, and she has a great tour. Everybody should, tune into that. And she's teaching me how to do and she's teaching me, and she has a great booklet that will help you. So thank you for that.
No problem. I want to add, when it comes to like that tour, like I do give out a lot of information, but you really do have to like utilize that information and go out there and like get it on your own. Simone did that. Like she, I took her to, she came on the tour and she went to like a whole bunch of different manufacturers, but she ended up circling back around and like finding your own, right?
Yeah. Like somebody out. It's just one of those things, like the fashion district seems big, but it's so small. So in that building that you might go to that have one manufacturer, I literally sat on the elevator and clicked all the buttons. And then when the doors open, I'm looking around, and that's how I found my manufacturer. Wow. And like, I love them.
You same building that when we took you out.
Yeah, it was one that you took me to. So you just have to really just hustle. And another thing, this might be kind of off topic, but people think like when you're in the fashion industry, like, or you want to become a designer, like, I have to do this 10-piece collection. Right. I have to do, and it's like, you need money, but you don't need that much money. It's like, find your thing and sell the hell out of it. Facts. And that's going to be what, like, able to fund that 10-piece collection that you want to do. Like, do those custom designs, or maybe you're good at making pants. Like, make some fire-ass pants and only sell pants, And, like, don't think, and that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, I need an 8 to 10 piece collection, but it's like, girl, you don't. Because guess what? You make 8 to 10 pieces and that one piece hit, and that's where all my money came from, So, yeah. Don't let the money deter you from pursuing fashion.
Absolutely. So I'm hoping that, like, not hoping, I am. We will. Like, this organization, by me being joined by all these great women, that, we'll be able to take, everything that we've learned, everything that we've experienced, and, put it out there to young women, and not just, little girls, but even, like, girls, like, I would say starting out. So girls that are 23, 22. So we're not limiting the age bracket for it. It is for young women, but some young women start later in life. They don't necessarily start on time. So this is for for women. Like, it's for women. I call it the Black Girlz Designer Club, but it's a club. It's for women. So we don't have like age restrictions on stuff. Like, we do want to help people. You might be the same age as us, but have like different struggles, you know? Yeah. So this is for everyone. You know, scholarships and funding and stuff like that can go to someone that's 18, but it also could go to someone that is 23 or 24, you know? So we are going to make this an organization that, you know, we're helping our peers. We're helping women that are in, you know, our same age bracket, that are younger than us. Hell, if they older than us, you know, whatever, you know. Yeah. So it's for everybody, you know, and I just want to make sure I stress that, like, that we're doing this for everyone that just has a dream, you know, and that has an interest and just want to learn and want to be a part of, like, a sisterhood, to be completely honest. Like, this is a sisterhood. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. All right. So I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this episode. Everybody throw out y'all social media handles so they can follow you, and more details to come. We got a laundry list of shit we need to do. We need to create an email. We need an Instagram account. You know, we need a lot of stuff. So we going to start hands on deck. We going to start with our events, and we're going to do a lot. This is just literally the beginning. Like, this is just the beginning for us. And yeah, throw out y'all social media handles.
At Pink Lady Inc.
At Limited by Vision.
Oh, I have two. My personal is at official.
Businesses.
At official Hadassah. That's my personal. You know, I host my own. You know, I'm a brand myself. And then my actual brand, my clothing brand is at Hadassah Door. So that's Had Ass A Door.
I'm at Chaos the Brand, and personal is Lady Simone A.
All right, Shaquana, Ashley.
Mine is at Shaquana.Shante. That's my personal. And my brand is at Phoenix_Elite.
And I'm at ashrich.nyc.
Y'all know I got a lot of them. So just Lanice Collier, and just click the link in the bio. They all right there. I got a whole bunch of them. We about to add the Black Girlz Designer Club in there too. So like, just follow them all, y'all. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me.
Thanks
I appreciate you all. I'm so glad you guys are gonna be on this journey with me, and we gonna fuck some shit up, you know? Like,
yes,
right.
definitely.
So, as I always say, I feel like we should stay together. I always say, stay black, peace out. So, 1, 2, 3. Stay black, peace out.
Stay black, peace out.
Bye, ladies on the phone. We love you guys. Sorry you couldn't be here.
Bye,
guys.
Yes, bye.
Love y'all too.